Hey guys, well, today we're going to show you how to smoke out a vacuum leak. We got some sort of an arrangement here. I'm not sure whose brand it is. This Sting Run, I don't know. I borrowed it. Anyways, it's like an old type of paint cup with a pressure regulator. Regulates the pressure to a very, very small amount, like maybe 1-2 psi. And inside there, you can see there's a electrode on either side. And then that wire on the inside is wrapped around a wick, basically a piece of cloth that's dripped into some baby oil. It's just the ends of the cloth are in the baby oil, not the part where the wire is. And you just connect it. Here, we're going to connect it right now. Let it smoke up a little bit before we get. It's not really on there. There we go. All right, should be working. All right, so it comes out that tube there, this final tube, and it goes over. And I'm feeding it into what was my brake booster vacuum line. You can see I've taken my air cleaner off. This is a quadrojet carb. I'm smoking out any vacuum leaks because I've noticed that my idle is kind of high ever since I put this motor in here, and I've tried to bypass the idle I plugged the idle bypass in the quadrojet base plate, and to no avail. It still idles very high, so much so that I have to run it on ported vacuum instead of full vacuum. Otherwise it runs on. So I think this is a Vortec. You see how it's only got screws on the ends, right? There's just screws on the ends. And there's none in the middle. You can't really see it. There you go. There's none in the middle. I don't know why GM did that, but it's bad design. I believe I have an intake manifold leak. I have tried it on the outside with carb cleaner, and I found a little bit around my throttle shafts, but I didn't find any around the edges of the intake manifold. So it could be leaking inside the engine, which is why we're going to smoke it out today. So I'm going to go ahead and open the valve, and that should, I hear it. Okay, it should start cooking out. All right, well, we got a vacuum leak there. I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah. So I put this little cap on the top. Obviously it's going to leak out there, but we're looking for other vacuum leaks. So there's a vacuum leak right there, and you can see it coming out of my I don't know if you can see that, but there's smoke coming out of that valve cover. That means that there's a leak into the engine. Otherwise the smoke should just go into the combustion chamber and out the tailpipe. But if it's coming out there, which it is puffing right out of there, that's a problem. That means I got an intake manifold leak. Where else are we leaking? Obviously the choke pull-off's leaking right here. I've got something underneath there. That's probably a vent to the carb. You can see it's leaking out right underneath the secondary flat screw spring. And of course we got some coming out of the primary throttle shaft, and we got a whole bunch coming out of there. And by the way, I've already done this cold. This is the hot, so I shouldn't be having all that smoke just pouring out of that. So we definitely got an intake manifold leak. These Vortec manifolds are bad about it. This is actually a GM manifold. I wanted to use the good stuff, and I use GM gaskets too, but I don't know, didn't work. Maybe I didn't torque them right. I think you're only supposed to torque them to like 9 foot-pounds. But that's how you smoke out a vacuum leak. You just smoke all over the place. I'm going to turn this off because it makes a big mess all over your car, and it's, like I said, it's baby oil. I just heat it up, smoke it up. Makes a hell of a mess. So, and it stinks like all get out. But that's how you smoke out a vacuum leak, and it says that we're going to have to change the intake manifold gaskets, which is a real bummer. But there you go, guys. Out of here.